How's
We're a
everyone
little
here?
bit
Let
late.
me let me add this since I
Oh,
have
good
Right.
this.
try.
So
Good
yeah.
try.
Every time you
Good
should
try.
like start off with this, pump up the energy.
Yeah. It's all
It's
about
all
state.
part of our era. So,
Yeah.
but no, great to see you guys again. It's good that the last time was last week. I know prior to this we had some hiatus. Either we're being too sick or too busy, but I think we're coming back to the rhythm of getting together again. So, really excited always to see you guys. So,
Yeah.
today we are going to focus on purpose, vision, and mission. I believe a lot of people usually get the three kind of
Mm.
mixed up a little bit, and they all relate to each other, but they are not the same thing. I dealt with this quite a lot back in business school from the start of the actual definitions of what those mean. But I think how do you actually fully utilize it in your own personal life, in your business, is quite important. Oh, I think everyone looks so great today. You guys look great, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
Appreciate
good.
the
It's good.
love.
Thank you.
Everyone's so
One of the
healthy.
reasons why I come here is I feel good coming on here, right?
I know. I know.
It's
Great.
good indicators that if you feel good about coming on and doing something, then you got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Actually, yeah, that'd be a very simple indicator, I think, when you jump into something. Well, and then on top of that too, there are situations that you feel pressure. It might not feel comfortable, but you know that there is a change about to happen after you do that move. Let's say you're going on stage speaking in front of a crowd that you've never spoken to. I think those are great opportunities that will really shift. But you do have to push out of your comfort zone. So
And
it's
that
good
goes
to be
back
comfortable. Yeah,
to
yeah,
Yeah.
being aligned with your purpose, vision, and mission,
Mm.
right? There's a
hundred
reason why
percent.
you're
Yeah.
going on stage to talk
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Well, just to give people an idea, at least from my perspective, there like what's most important in my life in terms of the pillars. There are four of them. So the first one is physical, of course. So your physical health, I think, is very very important. I think all three of us, take it very very seriously. That I know I can see you flex even through your shirt, and Andre, Luke's always
It's a bit
with
dark here.
sleeveless, so predominantly sleeveless.
Singapore. It's just Singapore weather,
Yeah,
man.
because it's hot. Yeah, whatever. Even if it's cold, I think you can still flex
Exactly.
it. So.
Some tourists
Well, maybe
just be like,
not here in Edmonton because it is pretty cold here. It gets down to like minus
be by
40,
now.
so wearing that won't be ideal.
Wow.
But I'm sure a lot of people will still appreciate it. So that's kind of priority: physical health. A second is their mental health of kind of how you think and how healthy is it that you think for others too. I think is also really important. Then the third is kind of your spiritual, which is your purpose. What is your reason of being here? Like, who are you serving ultimately? And then last but not least is the financial health, which is very important, but I do believe it's not the most important because when you have the first three, the last will naturally come, I believe. So, so on top of that, on the spiritual side, when we talk about purpose, it's kind of your mission. What are you doing to attain your purpose? And there is kind of this real direct definition about vision, which is what is the ideal best outcome that you want to see. So if it's in your business, vision is usually that your business is achieve this goal that it's set out to do. So let's say it's to make sure that everyone has healthy drinking water. There are a lot of companies out there that do support that mission, or people gain great understanding about themselves through yoga, for example. That could also be a vision. Whereas a mission is kind of what you do to get to the vision. So I think people will know the mission is the thing to do, and the vision is the ideal situation, and the purpose is kind of what drives all that, so that you'll do your mission to gain to your vision. So that's a simple definition, but I would love for you guys to start with first sharing probably your own purpose, vision, and mission. But Andre, since you triggered this conversation, would love for you to start sharing first.
Absolutely. I love the four pillars because I leverage that too, and I call it the peace of mind square. And it's like the physical health, right?
Yeah.
Your own body, the
Yeah.
mental, which is the financial, win-win relationships, the emotional relationships, and spiritual in terms of contribution, connection, purpose, right? And
Yeah.
when I think about the purpose, yeah, like it's like my reason for being here,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And my reason for being here is to really get closer to my higher self. I've
Mm-hmm.
been a lifelong learner ever since I got a taste of personal development. I like, man, I want more of this because more layers I peel back about myself and why I'm here, the more I want to know more. And it just
Mm.
keeps going. So it's fun. It makes life very expansive
Yes.
and playful. And if something happens that is not favorable,
Mm.
I always say, who knows what is good and what is bad, right? I always go be
Mm.
like, interesting. So I'm here
Yeah.
to really get closer to my truth, climbing up the
Yes.
mountain.
Mm.
And that's
Yes.
ongoing, right? My potential is
Yes.
limitless. My vision is really what I see, what I want to create on this planet. So is raising the consciousness of humanity to
Mm-hmm.
have people to have the same awareness as I do, but for their reasons, right? And we're all at different
Yeah.
stages.
Mm.
So if I can create this through self-empowerment, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
empowering myself, that can go to raising the consciousness of this whole planet. So we can make better decisions for
Yes.
ourselves and for the planet. And
Yes.
in mission, I always look at like, Mission Impossible. Okay,
Yeah.
you got the mission. What are you gonna do right now to get there? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
for me, it's really to empower men. Right now, I have a men's group where
Yes.
we're gonna work together and being our best self,
Awesome.
providing that space where we get to learn, study,
Mm-hmm.
apply, reflect together as a group with support and accountability. So we just be our best selves through continuous personal transformation. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's my mission. That's my
Wow.
purpose, vision, and mission.
Deep.
Right.
Deep. That is
Wow.
fantastic.
So much to it.
Fantastic.
So much to it, Andre. I
I
really
feel
love
you. I
that.
feel you.
Mm.
Yes. That's
Fired up.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Fire. No. Get lit and get lit. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, so thanks for the share, Luke. Your purpose, vision, and mission. It's all quite clear actually, but just say it again so people know. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it really starts from my core values. I mean, that's how I kind of live my life. Like my top 4 core values are health, family, freedom, and contribution. So health, planetary health, personal health, family, of course, and not just not just my immediate family, but extended family, people that I treasure. And I look at everyone that resonates with each other. It's we're all we're all beings living on the same planet. But I look at everyone around me as family and just what the kind of energy that I send to them and the energy that I receive from them is I look at that as family, and also the freedom to just live my life on my
Yeah.
own conditions, but also, of course, financial freedom as well. I know finance is not a huge part, but I feel like it helps with living this human experience. And also finally contribution, what kind of legacy I want to leave behind. So, but I guess I want to kind of clarify, kind of define what my ultimate kind of purpose right now is to elevate strength in men to achieve new levels of consciousness. So like very similar to you as well, Andre. And strength, I guess I look at the physical and the human body as our vehicle, and to be able to be strong, to be fit, to be healthy, to live this human experience. But once I'm in that space where I'm strong and I'm fit and I'm thinking, my gut health, my brain health, I am able to access different parts of my psyche through my subconscious and just through alignment with other aspects of my being, my emotions, my spirit as well. And so I guess that's my I would say my purpose. And then my vision right now is where I am, starting Free Human Project, which is kind of my new my new phase. I would say is to help people reclaim their health and personal power, especially post the past 2 years. And really, the mission piece really is just through the 4 pillars. I would say life ready function, optimizing physical and mental health, clean fuel. So really optimizing nutrition as well for a strong and
Nice.
robust immune system, for body composition, for fitness, for just longevity as well, and united families, better relationships in and out of the home, and finally, fire. I would say fire is your internal fire, access through really looking at it from the spirit, your spiritual self, and also how you breathe, because
Yes.
how I believe how we can access deeper states of consciousness, flow states, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. It all starts with the breath, and that's why what I focus right now these days is a lot of it is breath and breath of fire, and everything that relates to the breath, because that is our primary fuel source, and that is something that I'm super deeply passionate about, and a forever student of. So yeah, I guess to sum that, it's I guess it's purpose, vision, mission covered.
Yeah, you covered
Yeah.
everything. So
Body.
it's very it's quite succinct, both of you, how you guys shared. I think you guys are living the mission part now. Like obviously, our ideals are big enough for us to feel that we have purpose, and we keep refining our mission. I think our kind of our technique and the tools that we utilize too to get better at it every single day. You know, I think there's an ebbs and flows to it too, right? Where some days we're really great at what we're doing and, you know, with flow, and some days, you know, there's resistance, or we're there to just experience and learn and maintain, right? So regardless, we're on this amazing journey together, and honored to keep sharing with you too. Mine is the charm side. So it's actually the ideal for me is everyone can open up space for each other to live in a sense of sharing their own story and having their natural charm towards each other. So when you see good friends together, usually that's what it feels like. You know, you sit down and you always have space for each other. There's no judgment in terms of each person's opinion. So everyone has this freedom to share their perspective, agreed or not agreed, and we are all still good friends ultimately. And that's what I want to see everywhere that I go, or the people that I touch or serve or help. So the mission, obviously, I'm using my Charm Logic system to help people with. It's to help them explore kind of through curiosity, through humor, through, you know, the love that you have for each other, through being really happy when you go into an environment, and also being motivating towards other people too. So being positive. And I think I exude that myself to help bring that out in other people. It's never a position of trying to overshadow other people. It's more that I shine so that you can shine too. And I believe both of you have that same trait too, where you guys are shining in your own realm so that it allows other people to open up to. Is there a position that you're trying to put down other people, you know, same thing as me. And I never want anyone to have that perspective, you know, when they're interacting with me either. It's definitely, I'm out to help you out if you're willing to be helped. If not, totally cool too. Let's just chill. If you really can't hang around me, you don't have to hang around me either. So there's enough people to be helped in this world, and I'm here to lend a hand. But no, it's I think a great topic that you've touched on today. From our ideal situation, everything can sound quite rosy and great, but we're also dealing with sometimes environment that is, you know, not ideal and against our mission, let's say, which prevents us from our vision. So I guess a question that I have for both of you is, what do you guys do when you meet resistance towards your vision? Not vision, sorry, your mission itself, to keep it down to simplicity. But yeah, let's go with Andre again, and then we'll go to Luke right after.
I say, like, you know, lately I'll speak from recent experience of perhaps like joining a networking group or
Okay.
associating myself with certain people. The resonance isn't there because I think it boils down to, would this allow me to create the mission? I guess my mission here is like, it's part of liberty, right? Being free, being self-empowered. And I'm looking at systems that don't serve that, right? That actually do the opposite, that bind me down, that don't free me. So one example is like making a commitment to like joining a in-person networking group, for example. Then I got to be there all the time. Though, is that
Yeah.
truly me living a lifestyle of liberty when I'm having this particular thing for me to be stuck there, and that's a commitment for me to show up all the time? So I
Mhm.
filter that through my values, right? Of like, what am I want to create here? Well, I want to create liberty, free, not be tied to anything. So this networking group, me joining it and attending in-person events may not make sense right now for me.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
have to make that call to be like, okay, that's resistance. I'm not feeling it,
For sure.
and it's gonna take me away from what I want to create. So I'm saying no. So that's
Great.
one thing.
Great point, by the way, for people that will be listening or listening at the moment. I think when your vision and mission is, when your vision is clear, your purpose becomes, even more clear too, so that you are very aligned with your mission. And then that way, you won't mess with things that aren't aligned with that.
Yeah.
You know when to say no, which
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's really tough when we're really nice naturally. I feel three of us are that way too, where we might agree with things that might not be ideal for our alignment to what we really want to do. I think with age and with kind of time constraints, having a family, different projects, it becomes that you're so time crunched that you have to start deciding on what's important. Otherwise, the really important things that you have on the stove already or in line already might not get done. Before, when I was didn't have a child and projects were easy to complete, it was like, oh, bring them on, give me more, and then it came to a point where you had too many balls to juggle, and you can't do any of them right, and your reputation gets damaged, you burn out, and you're unable to actually complete your ideal situation of your vision. But no, great share, Andre. So learn to say no, friends. But Luke, for you, kind of what is
Yeah.
your like? How do you deal with challenges and resistance towards your mission?
I guess definitely one of the main things that the first word that comes to mind is moments. And what do I mean by moments? For example, a moment like yesterday when I finished my work and I was lying on the grass with my daughter lying on my
Mhm.
shoulder. We were just
Nice.
looking up into the sky, and then my little Sarah was just running around, and that was such a special moment. It's such a
Mhm.
simple moment, but such a
Yes.
special moment. And it is my why, to be able to provide an amazing life for my children to live however way they want to live, but also not that, but the kind of world that they will exist in when I leave, but
Hmm.
also to also share that with other people and other parents, for example, who are, you mentioned, time crunched as well. We're so busy grinding, being busy, wanting to provide, that you forget those moments because you just, I need to work, I need to earn this amount of money so that I can provide for my kids, but actually forgetting that sometimes it's all a matter of just drawing a stop line at 5 p.m. and saying,
Hmm.
all right, this is when I'm going to stop and this is when I'm going to be present with my children. So that's why I say moments. And that is what really pulls me back. And it may get hard, leaning into discomfort and also leaning into something that is totally new for me, for example, I'm about to launch a challenge in 2 weeks' time. This is the first time I'm launching a challenge,
Nice.
emailing out, 86,000 emails, not knowing who's going to come, whether I'm going to have the right message, whatever it is, all that imposter
Hello,
syndrome,
Shannon.
all that doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Shannon.
Hello,
Hey,
Shannon.
Shannon.
Hello, Shannon. And having the imposter syndrome is, what if it doesn't work? What if people judge me and all that stuff? But looking at my children's eyes and looking at those moments and remembering those moments, and this is why I do what I do, but not just that, to be able to share that with people eventually who have the same mindset, to share those moments with their children
Yes.
as well, healthy, fit, strong, purpose driven, in alignment, and really embracing this full human experience, because we're here for a
Yes.
short time.
Yes. Yes.
um, we're here for such a short time, but might as well make full use of this time that we have here to do what we want, when we want, with whoever we want. So I think that
Yes.
that's kind of what brings me back down to earth. My children.
No, I really feel that was an amazing share too, Luke. I feel every like fiber in you when you describe those moments, because and I actually feel the same right now. Just holding on to Asher, my son right now. that exact same feeling. The moments are so fleeting, like it disappears the second it happens. And like when I look at when I hold him right now and I look at his face when he's looking at something else or being very curious about different things, I try to like soak up like every single thing that I'm looking at, from his eyebrows, his eyelashes, to his nose, to his snot that's coming out of his nose, to his ears, like, and then the veins that are on his face too. Like I'm trying to like just fully absorb that situation. And I think, I have an advantage in a sense of being a photographer. I look out for those things. So it's like, I want to make sure I like secure and lock in that mental picture, because it's not going to ever happen again at that moment. And he's growing so quickly, and, cool that we have these devices that can, track his history with photos on our phone and stuff like that. But every time I look back at a younger photo of Asher, like, I'm getting emotional saying this, but it's like the moment's gone already. It's even though it's recorded, it's gone. And who you're dealing with right now, like my son at the moment versus back then, it's already two very different beings. One was that very, very pure kind of there was no social engineering at all done at all yet on that being. Is like super pure. And now it's more like we have to kind of provide a framework for Asher to learn how to live in our world, and how do we still keep his innocence, purity, but yet let him understand kind of the workings of the world. It's always, as a father right now, it's like I'm worried about, all the bad things that can happen. Like when I think about it, it's like, what if the car's driving too fast over there? What if there's a really bad person that wants to, just steal him away? Or what if I'm holding him on the stairs and then I accidentally trip and I throw him down the stairs? Like simple things like that but it's that that protective fiber in me now of my a baby that is part of me that I want to protect. I think people that don't have children, things that they have created in, businesses will have that same feeling. Like you want to protect your business too, because it is a baby to you, where it's something that you've poured your heart and soul out. Or people that you've coached, same thing. It's like how you've served them. It's like, there's always those moments that you connect during a very vulnerable situation and very transparent and open situation. And, those moments are fleeting because it's so special. Like when they do transform and become that new being, that old being that was in challenge or in a different situation disappears. And it's good that they transform into something that's progressive, but sometimes I still miss that older being when, we're going through the hardships together. So yeah, it's thank you so much for the share, Luke. I think that's fantastic. And it really builds kind of, I'm very like full in terms of like, I have this purpose constantly now for Asher to take care of him, but also my own business. It's to create that, again, like that space for other people to connect, and this is what both of you, I believe, are doing, how you can connect with yourself, how to get healthier, but also kind of your mindset, have clarity for yourself to do what you want to do. Right. But no, thank you, Luke. I think that was awesome.
Thank you.
So
pleasure.
Yeah, it's a journey, right? To get there. To get there. I'm just saying, like, it's like a living document, right? Your purpose, your vision, mission is an evolution, of it.
Yes.
Yeah, Luke, what you were gonna say there?
I was just about to say, and I don't know whether you guys, has your purpose been, it's more a question, has your purpose and vision and mission have been formed by times of, stress and struggle or setbacks that you've experienced yourself to now, you've gone through this kind of rite of passage, this internal war to get to where you are, and now you become, you went through your own hero's journey, and now you want to guide other people and serve other people and elevate their lives through what you do. Is that a case for both of you?
I mean, I feel like every day is a war and battle, right? So not to the point where it was like I'd say like 7 years ago, I didn't know what my purpose, vision, mission was, and just by living life intentionally and learning about myself, it uncovered, it bubbled up to the surface and got refined over time, as if like I start to love myself more as I get older, and then I'm more like standing up for myself. The more I say no, the more I set boundaries, right? The more I respect myself. So it's definitely an evolution of my life that's lived, though I find it
Right.
sped up when I started living intentionally, when I started to experience more things. Because then through those experiences, I was able to filter out what I didn't like and what I liked. And I can feel it. I can feel it resonance with my spirit. I'm like, this is who I am. Wow, it's consistent. It's always shown up. And now it's got to the point where I'm so convicted into it because it got so clear. And by getting it clear, it leads to commitment, long-term commitment.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally awesome share there, and a great question, Luke. I feel fortunate and blessed that my parents have always opened space for me to explore what I didn't even know would work for me ultimately. They sent me out when I was 14 to Canada to kind of also do that exploration. And yeah, like Andre, I believe there wasn't a clear kind of purpose when I was younger, until I started exploring, the things that I liked, I enjoyed. I think that was the main intention originally. I love technology, I love people. I found photography to be the perfect match for those two items. Put my study into it, and then created experiences and opportunities that opened up. So Los Angeles, that was a big part. I got to see the elite dancers in the world, to see what mastery is like, and people that cared about what they do looks like. And then I brought that to my own kind of craft. And then I found my personality through that too. It's like, I was able to connect with these people that are at a very elite level without too much of a challenge, because I actually genuinely just want to talk to them and connect with them. And I created space for them, and not constantly be in awe of their kind of celebrity status on social media or whatnot. I really don't care about fame as much. I care about, is that person a good person? And naturally I found that, okay, I have this skill to connect with people, and how do I make this into something that I can help other people with? And it kind of landed me here. And it is a mindset. I'm still constantly extracting kind of this natural knowledge and kind of way of doing things that I have, so that I can share with other people. Because it was quite natural to me, but now that I lay it on paper, and after also serving a lot of different clients, I found out that it's not a natural thing to find your charm, and to be comfortable with yourself and other people, to open up. So yeah, it is a journey to discover that purpose, albeit it didn't come from I had something to prove. It was to see how I can help other people to find the same joy that I have. And I know both of them can drive, like, both emotional states, through fear and through love. I think the ultimate outcome, if it's to help somebody, and you don't damage yourself, then it's okay to do that. Through fear part and through something to prove part, you can transform through that, I believe. But there's a big hardship that comes from that transformation, right? But when you come out of it, it's like amazing. It's like, a butterfly coming out of a cocoon kind of a thing, right? So, but no, thanks for asking that question, because I think we innately know, like, how we've reached our stage at the moment. But sometimes people don't know how to get here, and it feels that they're still lost. But there's actually a way, if you just keep finding what you enjoy and what you can help people with, or where you don't want to be. I think a lot of people also come out of that. I don't want to be in this state anymore. Let's change something. And then they discover something that they love, and they change themselves, and then they help other people change. It's usually that way, right? So, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Luke.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's all, it
And how
has
about
been
for
a journey
yourself?
for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with. I mean, I just really resonated with what you guys know. Like, I haven't really discovered my purpose until recently. I think it could be most 43 this year. So
Hey,
it's just
Travis.
really getting clear with. Hello, Travis. Getting
Hello,
clear
Travis.
with
Hello, Travis.
where.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah.
With where I want to go. And I guess it was just perpetuated by the past 2 years. And then looking back at my past, how I came here and what my strengths are is pulling people together for a common cause. Initially when I first started on my entrepreneurship journey was when I first turned vegan, and I pulled together a bunch of plant-based athletes and healthcare professionals. Say, hey, we want to represent plant-based health and fitness, and there we go. We took a picture of 12 or 13 of us, and the brand that I started in previously was Evolve Generation, and then followed by the Plant Fit Summit, pulling people together, being a conduit and a facilitator for health, fitness, centered around plant-based living. And now moving towards this new direction, which is a brand new direction, perpetuated by the past 2 years, Free Human. I remember when I was sitting outside with my daughter having food, and when lockdowns were happening, and there we were sitting outside, and in the restaurant there were 50 or 60 people having their meals with their masks off, and there we were walking with our masks on. It just didn't make sense. And my daughter was asking me, like, why is that? It was an outdoor cafe. Why is it 50, 60 people? And why do we have to wear our mask when we're walking next to them? Because it's just done. And that just made me feel like I had to do something about it. So hence the birth of Free Human, personal health, sovereignty, personal responsibility as well. But also unified by common values, common beliefs for what being human is about. It's about community. It's about getting dirty. It's about your microbiome. It's about being able to hug someone without fear of them being infected in any way. Small communities. And really, I feel like that was lost in the last 2 years, and hopefully, and I'm starting to see things starting to get back to normal. But I feel like sometimes with when you've created a deep wound, the scar is there. It may have healed, but the scar is there. It is always a reminder of what. Yeah, it's callous. It's always a reminder of what happened, and to never forget what happened. So that's kind of it's kind of deviated to where I am today, and. It's a little bit of fear leaning into this new direction, but I'm leaning in it with a full heart, with an open mind, with an open spirit, with hoping to bring people together. So yeah, it has been a journey for myself as well.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, and I think also opening up into what's important to you, obviously is very, very important. Yeah, I think, assisting people in finding, the people that are watching too, like how do you find your purpose, ultimately your vision, and then your mission of how to get to that vision is, takes time, and it takes you to have the willingness to also explore, and finding the right people to surround yourself with. You'll keep finding that as you level up, you will have a different circle of surrounding and friends. And just make sure that, you are choosing the right people that constantly believes in your vision and assists in your vision, in your mission. Then that way you will feel very, very purposeful. And you'll feel that your spirit is constantly full when you're surrounded by the right people in the right environment, and it feels great. Just like this chat right now, I think we can speak for 5-6 hours if we had nothing else to do, like sleep, or like other work that we have to do. We can keep talking forever because we always can explore together. And that I think. Wait, there you go. What's this? 5 people you hang out with them. Yes, that's so true.
5. Wow.
You're the average, or maybe the last of the 5.
We joke as men, like you hang around a barbershop long enough, you're gonna get a haircut.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
That is so true. That is so true, Travis. And yeah, those
Indeed.
five actually, I can count like my closest friends are, the five people that I don't have to constantly engage with, but I know if I needed anything in life, they're there to support, and vice versa. If they called, if they asked for me, I would not question, and it would be right away. And I'm sure everyone has those surrounding of friends, or at least if you don't, then you should consider that. Rather than making friends with everybody and anybody, find the people that actually truly care for you. It doesn't have to be that many people either. Me, I am an extrovert, so I love connecting with people. So, and I always find that there's always, I don't know, something magical that happens when you connect with new connections. So it's worth doing for me, and I get energized by that. But let's say introverted people, like my wife, she's built that trust amongst a small amount of people. But she's comfortable and very, very happy, especially when she's around those people. But yeah, I encourage everyone to find your five. Man, it sounds like
yeah.
a cell phone
Build depth,
plan.
right? Not
Yeah,
width. Like go deep because there's more
yeah,
layers of
go
Yeah.
deep.
happiness for those two.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and also if your life is not going the way you want and you feel always not in not the best environment and not in the best
Mm,
states, look at the five people around you because they also influence your reality as well
yes,
because they
yes.
can help you, they can elevate your life, but at the same time they can constantly be pulling you down from
It
who
might be
you want to
because of
be
them, right?
to who
Yeah,
you want to be.
totally,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. It must be. There must be a courage for that too. I find, Luke,
True.
where
True.
the comfort
Agreed.
zone of having those five, let's say, people that influence you negatively, you might find that I'd rather be with them because it's comfortable than to get out into a new state of being that's actually maybe more positive. But yeah, that takes maybe that sixth person that is wanting to do good for you and can kind of see that for you to kind of share with you, and you at least have an open mind to listen, because yeah, that's what I've found too, where I've always found people that when I'm in a rut with a current environment or situation or group of people, they're able to objectively help me see another perspective, and I'll be like, okay, I need to choose, and that's what, as you grow up, that's what makes you become an adult. It's like you start making better choices for yourself and then for the people around you, and you keep navigating and you get better at doing it because you have to. If you and you also know contingencies of if you make incorrect decisions, what are your other, plan B's, plan C, plan D's kind of a thing too, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I think this conversation is great. Yeah, I daily listen to. Oh, there you go. Perfect,
Yeah.
Travis.
Take into account your
Yeah.
environment, right? I always look at
Yeah.
like how can I stack my environment in my favor, and I see it always as what are those things called? Like the teeter totters, like the playground
Seesaws.
Seesaw.
seesaws. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
all good, all
and
good.
right, yeah, seesaws. That's a new word for me right now.
You see and then you
And
saw. Yeah, there you go.
totally, I love that.
And now
Pun
you remember
intended.
seesaw.
Yeah. And then usually if we don't like curate our environment, we're not paying attention to it. Majority is negative. Like you turn on the TV, it's
Yes.
negative, right?
Oh, very.
Negative sensationalism is huge and that's what sells. So if I don't
Yeah.
stack my environment, it's gonna eventually pollute my mind, right? No matter how
Mm.
positive I am, if I'm in a negative environment, it's gonna drag me down. So I stack it, just like what Travis says. I listen to daily podcasts, motivational videos, anything like that that can stack in my favor. So I'm around that more environment. So I curate it or have something positive in front of my wallpaper on my phone. And I look at it every day
Nice.
too. Yeah. So it just reminds
Yes.
me that it's got a totem, right? An anchor that sets me back into that vibration.
Totally. You should see mine right now. It's
What is
I
it?
don't know if you can see. It's
Oh,
Asher
yeah.
holding up a crashed Diet Pepsi can for me, but
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's
totally,
great
He's
it's
got
thing.
totally.
the
It's
hair
got what?
game.
Sorry.
He's on point
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
got the
Yeah.
yeah.
hair game
Always,
too.
always. gonna style it up, man. He's got to be a cool baby. Oh wait, hold on. What's he say here, Travis? Our phones aren't just
man.
personal devices; they're personal development. Oh, totally. I think
Prior.
in Buddhism concept, the concept of void, meaning the objects, environment, people, whatever that's you and around you, has no meaning really. It's how we put meaning into it. And in Buddhism, we kind of talk about adding the ultimate value and creating great and ultimate value around everything that's around you. So when you're in Buddhahood, basically you and your environment are in the ultimate state. And this is the same thing, just bring it back to the phone example that Travis just shared. The phone itself doesn't really have meaning, but it's when you put the meaning into it, it can become something that's very, very destructive, but also something that can be very constructive. So you're the one that determines that too. Same thing with the weights, same thing with the hammer. It can build, it can destroy, all these same concepts, right? So, but no, I think it's thanks for the share too, Travis. And so glad that Travis, you're really interacting with us. Please don't stop, and we will keep talking to you. So, and invite you to the show. No, yeah, so I'll make that happen one day.
Yes.
We gotta get a guest.
Dude, Travis is great too. He leads a men's group. Men on Fire.
Oh wow,
cool.
awesome, Travis.
Fantastic. So, no, totally welcome, and thanks for triggering some of these cool conversations that we're having right now too. I think coming back to the chip on the shoulder to prove example, I was at that state, I think about 6 or 7 years ago. It's like, I want to prove that I'm the best and everything I do has to be, elite, and I'm super competitive, blah, blah, blah. And it's always like sharp. After, I think in the last 2 years and now, it's been more of realizing that and stating that I am rather than I want to be. And I'm very comfortable in my skin now, so that I don't need to prove anything. It's just things that I do are at a, top elite state. And I think once that perspective shifted, it's like bringing everything to the present. I don't complain about the past. I don't look too far into the future either, that it becomes impractical. And I'm just dealing with the now, which I think it's a great exercise. There you go. I was, I am, we are. Yeah, totally. And it's like, how do you live right now most powerfully? And you are already what you believe you are in the future. Just, you can bring that back into the present, right? And really let go of the past, because it doesn't dictate who you are and also what you are going to become. So I think there's a power in how you those ideas too, because people leave their vision sometimes too distant that it feels impractical to build towards. They don't bite-size it down that it becomes so unachievable. It's like, I want world peace, something like super like general like that. And it's like, oh, how do you actually bring it down to how you treat your neighbors? Do you actually treat your neighbors?
And that's the power too, right? Of being around people like this that can ask those questions, right? I make the mistake of like, hey man, I can't get on my own perspective, right? Like you can't really pick yourself out of a problem, right? Unless you ask yourself the right questions. So having someone like yourself or Luke can ask those questions and get me out of that rut, right? And then allow me to refine it better. So it goes back to your associations, having them kind of challenge your beliefs, your paradigms, and being open to hearing that different perspective.
Yeah, I think definitely it's holding you to higher standards. It's all about standards, isn't it?
Yes.
Allowing for people to hold you to higher ones. But sorry, you go ahead, Romy.
Oh, no worries. No. Go ahead. I talk a lot, so go ahead. I love talking.
No. I kind of finish my train of thought. So.
Oh, you finished your thought. Okay, I'll go. Just build up what Andre said about. Oh, okay. It's what Andre was sharing about. like opening up dialogue and space, but still have the humility to accept other people's perspective on what you've opened up. Because sometimes it might be something you don't agree with. But
Yeah.
there is that perspective that you have to respect. I guess you must respect, but you don't have to accept. Then that way, there is this kind of freedom of things that are flowing within the space that you've created, right? So I think we, all three of us, are creating space in the world and in our environment to let other people kind of live through. But it might not be the ideal situation sometimes, the way that people are interacting in that space, right? So yeah, it's like Andre's ready I have
Yeah,
something to
because
say.
it just goes back to like, the accept reject goes back to, is it in resonance with my purpose, vision, mission, and values, right? And I filter by that. When I'm clear on that and be like, okay, cool, I can hear it. So I can like, cool, I'm clear on what I want to do, but or be like, yes, thank you for allowing me to clarify a bit more and deepening it. I never saw it this
Yeah.
way. And it's still in alignment with myself. Yeah.
Yeah. You stay true. But the humility of seeing perspectives, because it can be really daunting when it's also like not what you've seen or you might not agree with. And it takes that courage to be like, okay, just let the idea live, because it already exists. And your idea, you know what your purpose is, you know what your mission is, and you know what ultimately your vision is to deliver to the world, right? So, but yeah, this was a great conversation. Thank you so much, Andre, for again triggering this great topic of purpose, vision, and mission. Hopefully, guests and people that are watching, you guys got something out of this chat and can find your own purpose, vision, and mission, or have that refinement in your mission to achieve your visions better, and constantly feel that there's purpose in your life, and it can really fill your soul up to want to do more and help other people. But thank you, my friends. Always wonderful, and looking forward to our next chat again really, really soon in a week. So any last words? Oh, can you take us through a quick 2-minute breather?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
breather. Oh wow.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
do it.
Always.
let's do it. All right. So right
Okay.
now, what we're gonna do is just a 2-minute box breathing session. So box breathing. What is a box breathing session? This is breathing in a box. Inhale. Say we're gonna inhale for 3 seconds. Pause for 3 seconds. Exhale for 3 seconds. Pause for 3 seconds. So literally, we're just going around the box. Okay. So assume you're kind of relaxed but upright posture with your eyes, and whenever you're ready, just feel free to close your eyes and just take a few deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and a big sigh at the end. 2 more, and deep breath in, filling your belly up, and exhaling, releasing any negative and toxic energy, any dead energy, and 1 breath in, 1 last breath in. And now we're going to take a breath in through our nose for 3 seconds. 2, 3, and pause for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, 1, and in, 2, 3, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and release, and hold, and big breath in, and hold, and release, and hold. And now we're going to go up into a 4-second box now. Big breath in for 4, and hold for 4, and letting it all out for 4, and hold for 4, Just paying attention to this pattern as you're breathing in, fully conscious and aware of this moment, and hold. And release. And hold. And big breath in again. And hold. And out. And hold. And one more cycle now, and big breath in. And hold. And out. And hold. And coming back down to your breathing rhythm now, your normal breathing rhythm, and just reflecting on the day you've had the day that has just passed, focusing on the lessons that you have, the wisdom that you've got, the love that's in your life, the people you've touched, and the people you touch. Whenever you're ready, feel free to open up your eyes.
Man, it's always so good.
That was fantastic. I gotta celebrate. Woohoo! Again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Luke, for guiding us
Pleasure.
through this fantastic
Quick one.
breather. But again, hope you guys have the rest of the week in as fantastic of a state as possible and affect as many people positively as possible. Thank you so much. See your friends next week. You guys are awesome.
go.
Love you guys.
Take care.
Bye.